Beautiful. All right. Well, welcome everybody to the Amplify Your Impact and Transform Your Income webinar for men. So, first of all, thanks for your time. Thanks for taking the time to jump on. And if you're new, just to hear something new and educate yourselves a little bit. My name's Tully, and we've got a few lads that are going to be having a chat tonight. And I'll just open the space by, I guess, sharing a little bit about my story with network marketing and with Isagenix, and just why I wanted to start creating this space in particular to just educate more men about what we've got going in and what's possible with this profession. About before network marketing, before Isagenix, I was working as a physio in private practice. So I studied for 4 years to become a physio and had been working for about 3 or 4. And even though I enjoyed what I did, I earned pretty good money. I was kind of always looking for a way to get a bit more lifestyle balance. And I was also seeing every single day, walking in and out of my doors, people that were stressed, people that were carrying extra weight, people that their health was suffering as a result of their lifestyle. And so I was always looking for, it's recording. Does it say recording, Reese? I hit record. Yep, recording. Sweet. Thanks for double checking. So I was always looking for, I guess, tools to help my patients with. And I was also looking for a way that I could improve my work-life balance as well. And so I'd never heard of network marketing before, but a physio friend of mine, Rory, came to me and said he'd been using this health system. I'd seen what it did for him. He was burnt out really badly, and it helped him turn his health around. And he'd helped a few patients lose weight, and I trusted him, so I was open to having a look at it. Prior to that, I'd never used a supplement or health product in my life. And to be honest, I was pretty healthy. I was training 4 to 5 times a week. I was eating well. I was a health professional. I wasn't really looking for anything for myself, but relied on a bit of coffee to get through the day still. So I was having 1 or 2 coffees to get through the day, but so was everybody. So I just thought that was normal. And then, curiosity got me to take a look. And then the real kicker was I really wanted my mum to try it, and she wouldn't do it if I didn't do it. So I gave the program a crack, had a 30-day money-back guarantee. I thought I may as well give it a go. I've seen Rory get great results. And 2 weeks in, I was feeling amazing. So I woke up after my second cleanse day, 2 weeks in, woke up with mental clarity, didn't need the coffee anymore, was pulling up after workouts better. Long story short, fell in love with the system of products, been using it for the last 4 years. But what happened next was just as, if not more powerful, was I started to learn and educate myself about the profession of network marketing, specifically the company Isagenix. And that's when things really shifted to me. I went to an event, I educated myself on what it was about, because I'd heard a lot of different bits and pieces from a lot of different people. And when I saw what it was really about and what can happen when it's done well, I went all in. So I had been accepted to go and study medicine post-grad, the dotted line had been signed. I was going to go in and study that, and I decided to bail on that career path to pursue this amongst other things because of what I really saw it could do for people and the impact that you could have on an individual basis, but on a magnified basis. And that's really what I want to talk about tonight. I've got some guys that I want to ask a few questions to, because in doing so, my lifestyle is completely transformed, because I haven't had to work a full-time job in the last 3 years, doing a bit of physio here and there because I enjoy it, but I've been able to travel more, spend more time with the people that I love. And before this, I had no business experience, and I didn't even know what network marketing was. So I know it's possible for anybody that's willing to apply themselves. So now what I really want to do is just use this to create a space, just to educate more people about it. It's not for everyone, that's for sure. But I see so many people either not take a look or turn it down because they've been misinformed about what it's really all about. So I've got 3 guys on here tonight that are absolute ripper blokes. They're very down to earth, very knowledgeable, and they're going to be sharing some of their insights. So without further ado, I'm just going to find Bill, if I can. If you can unmute yourself, Bill, please do so. Otherwise, I'm going to try and...
Hi there. How you going, Tully?
Beautiful. Thanks, Bill. Yeah, I'm going really well, mate. I'll let you share a bit about your story and your background before your Isagenix experience started. But you've been in the financial industry for over 30 years, self-employed for 20 of those, running a successful business for a very long time now. So safe to say you know a thing or two about finances. And what I love about you is that you take a really holistic approach with people and their finances. So yeah, I'd love to hear from you just a bit about your story, a bit about your background, how you came across Isagenix, and your experience with it.
Okay, yeah, no worries. Well, first of all, I just want to say well done on your behalf, Tali, just to take the initiative to put this on. I think it's really great. Just to, it's probably a more dominated female industry that we're in, but there's also a lot of kick-ass guys out there that are doing some amazing things in Isagenix. And yeah, well done and congratulations to you. Kudos. So I think it's really, really good what you're doing. And I hope a few guys out there will get a benefit from some of the information we'll share tonight. So my background, I've been in the finance industry now for 30 years, and started straight out of school. I was a very keen sportsman and relocated down to Sydney after a couple of years to pursue a career in rugby league, and also continued to work in the banking industry. And the rugby league career, unfortunately, didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. Had some highs and some lows, but retired at 23 and just pursued the finance career ongoing. 13 and a half years in banking and finance before breaking away and starting my own business with mortgage broking business, and also always promoted investment properties to my clients, and done financial planning now for quite a number of years, and so forth. So at the moment I run the RHL group, which is a holistic approach to wealth creation, and part of that, of course, is creating multiple income streams.
Yeah, amazing, great. And I think it's important to start with that as a premise, because I myself, I don't know about the guys on the call, but growing up through school, didn't learn much about managing money, and I certainly didn't learn much about developing multiple income streams. So for a lot of people, that as a concept, unless they've pursued it themselves, can be quite new. And I guess so you obviously recommend network marketing as one way to develop an extra income stream. So I guess share a little bit about your experience with Isagenix, and then why you recommend that as a good option for people.
Yeah, well, over the years, I've always recommended, the income streams that are basically your property, your shares, derivatives, business income, and also network marketing, and the importance of developing those income streams into your life. Because one may be working really well for you at one stage, because businesses have or income can have its highs and its lows. So I talk to people about the three different types of incomes that they can generate. Firstly, of course, is the passive income, which they generate through their job or their business, where they're exchanging time for money at the end of the day. And the only way they can really increase their income there is to maybe increase their hourly rate, get a pay rise, or work longer hours. And a lot of people are drawn to owning their own business, but that's even it can be a tougher deal, where they're working harder, and a lot of the times they're making sure everyone else is getting paid before themselves, and it can be a tough gig. So that's the first type of income, of course, being the passive income. The second type of income is the active income. The second type of income is the passive income. Typically, people will invest in the likes of investment properties or shares or business, often requiring quite a large amount of capital. And everyone knows there that it's high risk, high return, or low risk, low return. And it's important that people do passive income. But the last one is probably it trumps all other incomes, I believe, and that's residual income. If you look at the likes of the Beatles or J.K. Rowling, or the likes of Elvis Presley, Michael Jackson, they've got that residual income. And what residual income is when you do the work once and you continue to get paid over and over and over time. And that's okay if you've got talent in music or an author. But the average person, a great way and the best way, I believe, to create that residual income in your life is through network marketing. And I've been recommending that there to clients now for 25 years or more.
Wow. Yeah. And how long ago did you come across Isagenix?
Yeah, well, Isagenix was in 2013, and at that time, business was booming. Definitely enjoying some success there. But the problem was, and what a lot of people didn't know, is I wasn't really that happy. I was grossly overweight, I thought, at the time. I was 128 kilograms. Couldn't sleep. I was never switching off when I go to bed, and I was lacking a lot of energy. And I was fortunate enough to go to the fitness expo, the Philex, here in Sydney, and was introduced to Isagenix by a gentleman by the name of Matthew Ralph. And he's a really good friend these days, and been on the program now for over 4.5 years. As a result of that, Natalia, I'm happy to say I lost or at least 28 kilos in the first 75 days. And
incredible effort.
Yeah, it was just amazing. I couldn't believe it, because I'd lost weight before. I had lost weight, put it back on, lost weight, put it back on, the classic yo-yo dieter. And the impressive thing about this is not really the 28 kilos, it's the fact that I've been able to keep that off now for over 4.5 years. I sleep like a baby, energy to burn, and again, I share the products with everybody because I see it as a gift, and there's no better gift than the gift of good health, I believe.
Fantastic, powerful story. Because, like you say, even if you are, business is doing really well, often people do that to the sacrifice of their health, and I guess this provides an opportunity to have the best of both worlds, to be putting your health first and to be looking at developing those income streams. And just talk to me a little bit more about that. So the average person that would come to you, obviously they're not the Beatles, they might not be able to dance like Michael Jackson or have the creativity of J.K. Rowling. So how can an average person through network marketing, so what about it? So what you've seen with Isagenix over the last 4.5 years, what about it does provide that amazing opportunity for the everyday person?
Yeah, well, probably the best place to start would be when my wife and I first got married 25 years ago now. We were introduced to another direct selling organisation, beginning with A, but I won't tell you which one that was. And I'd never heard of it before, and I tell you what, I was so excited. I jumped in with both feet. I cannot tell you how excited I was. I was working in the banking industry. I was retired from football, and I was looking for something, I suppose. And I absolutely worked my butt off for 2 years with some success, but I suppose was seen as successful in that company. But the truth was, our biggest month, after 2 years of absolutely slogging it out every day and on the weekends as well, was $1,800 for a month, and that was right towards the end. We really did feel disappointed, let down, I suppose, by the support and the income with all the work that we'd done, but the income just wasn't there. And whilst the business model was attractive, my wife and I, we actually said never again. But almost 20 years later, Isagenix came along, and it just ticked so many of the boxes that we were looking for, especially in the 5 main categories, I suppose, that one looks for when they're assessing a network marketing company, and it ticked all of those boxes.
Amazing. And just quickly go through those boxes, just for any new people jumping on. What is important to look at?
Okay.
And how does Isagenix tick them?
Yeah. Okay. Well, the first thing we look at, first category, I suppose, is we look at the company. And when we're looking at Isagenix, it's been around for more than 10 years, debt-free. It was experiencing exponential growth. The leadership there, Jim Coover, who is a statesman in the direct selling industry, been in it for over 30 years. Kathy Coover, who's his wife, co-founder of Isagenix, had been to the top income earner of three different network marketing companies. Also John Anderson, who product formulator, the Mineral Man, had formulated like 2,600 different formulations over 40 years. And Eric Coover was just coming up with the START program back there, which is really exciting for the under 35. So the company and the leadership there was really important. The second thing that we looked at was the actual product, and with network marketing or with direct selling, we knew it needed to be consumable. That's an absolute must when you're assessing a network marketing company or direct selling company. The second thing is it needs to be unique, And the Isagenix product range is unique in the fact, it's intermittent fasting, nutritional cleansing, protein pacing. These are the things that makes this actual product so unique in the marketplace and why there's nothing like it. And the other thing, of course, is it's need to be emotional, so that's, if you have that as well, you've got a home run, because with Isagenix, the transformations that people are able to achieve, it does create a real emotional attachment to the product, the company, and so forth. So that's the second thing, is the product. The third thing that we look at is the training and the support. And Isagenix really is a 10 out of 10. And coming from a corporate background, when you look at the training that we receive, it's amazing to consider the majority of it's free. And some of the events that we go to, we pay just a small amount, to cover costs. And the training really is a 10 out of 10. And then it comes down to the fourth thing, which is the compensation plan. The compensation plan, this is where it was really good, because it's not MLM. Isagenix is network marketing, and this is where I found and we discovered why we weren't able to make good money in our previous network marketing company 20 years ago, was because it's MLM. And the reason that is that with MLM companies, they're predominantly what they call stair-step breakaway compensation plans, or matrix unit levels, or what they call coded bonus comp plans, which requires qualifications and generational restrictions, which means that you don't benefit if someone comes into your organisation, deep into your organisation, because of those restrictions. You may not benefit from that superstar that may come into your team deep down line. So, and the volume can then disappear at the end of the month. And with Isagenix, it's not MLM, model level marketing. It's a binary system, which are the Ferraris of network marketing compensation plans. The volume does not disappear at the end of the month, and it pays on unlimited depth. And all that combined with the fact that if you do get to a successful level where they get to the top level where you max out the compensation plan, you actually get to re-enter above your original position. And that's pretty unique in the industry. And when I saw that, I was just blown away. And the final thing is really the timing of Isagenix and where we're at. And we're in our 16th year now. Sales-wise, we're over $5 billion in cumulative sales. And when you look at that and look at it closely, when we talk about timing, it took Isagenix 7.5 years to hit their first $1 billion in sales, and then only 3.5 years to hit their second billion in sales, and only another 2 years for the third billion, 1.5 years for the fourth billion, and now only a year to hit their fifth billion. And progressively looking at hitting $1 billion a year in sales and going forward. We just I think it was about $578 million in turnover 2017, up 4% on 978, up from 924 in 2016, up 4% growth, which any corporation would be super excited about. When I just think about that, I imagine where we're going to be in another 15 years. It just blows me away. And I'll just finish off by saying that if I ask you a question, if you had two drivers in a car race, one was a Formula One, say, and the other was say a 70-year-old grandmother, who do you think would win the race, Tully?
I'm going to go with option A.
option A, the Formula One every time, right? But what if I told you the Formula One driver was in a Dodgem car, and the grandmother is in a Mercedes-Benz, a brand new Mercedes-Benz? So in that case, then it all changes, because it doesn't really matter how much talent you may have if you're not in the right vehicle. And in my opinion, network marketing is the right vehicle, and I do believe that Isagenix is the number one of all the network marketing companies out there today. So very exciting times ahead, and it just it meets all those five categories that we were looking for, and I can't tell you how excited we are about the future and where we're going to be over the next 10, 20, 30 years and beyond.
Beautiful. Thanks so much for sharing that insight, Bill. Just so clear, so concise, and I think coming from your background, it's quite a powerful statement. So thanks for taking the time to jump on and share that with us, and I'll get one of the other guys to jump on as well. So cheers for that, Bill.
My pleasure.
All right, I'll get Batsa. Do you want to unmute yourself, mate? Can you do that, or do I have to do you? How are we going? There we go. We're on. Oh, no, I haven't got you. Got no audio there. So what I might do is I might get Morgs on and we'll see if we can play around with your audio. Morgsy.
Yo, I'm here.
Yo, ready. ready and waiting. I love it. Yeah. I'm just gonna come across and find you. There we go. Yeah. Beautiful. How you going, mate?
Good.
Yeah, nice.
Well, Anna's away. I'm here in the house by myself. It's fantastic.
Loving it. Nice.
Eaten over the sink with no plates and no cups.
Yeah, good stuff. The way it should be every now and then. Yeah, awesome. Definitely. Cool. Well, yeah, I guess for starters, just if you could just share a bit about your experience coming into network marketing, because you were definitely a raging skeptic before you got started with ISA, and obviously had a bit of a corporate background, so a bit different to Bill. But yeah, so just share a bit about your background beforehand and your experience coming into it.
Yeah, so my personality is I treat everything that I come across with a healthy dose of skepticism, and it's always, more often than not, it's to my own detriment. But obviously I had a connotation in my mind about what network marketing was. I wasn't like Bill. I wasn't excited when my wife came home and told me she was joining, a network marketing company, and we had a huge argument, massive argument over it. But she continued, and it worked out pretty well. But initially, I just didn't want to know about it. But she was committed, and she had great results with the products. And I just thought, after seeing that, I was like, oh, look, I'll just give these products a go, see what happens. It was a 30-day money-back guarantee. I thought I'll just eat this for free and send this shit back at the end of the month, and I'll get her off my back. And and it will kind of be like that will be the end of it, and I won't ever have to deal with it ever again. But I had great results, and I thought, well, look, these products are good, but my skepticism and I suppose my my hang-ups around network marketing were so great that when people would ask me at work, what's this thing, what's that shake, what are you cleansing, what's that about? I'd be like, oh, look, these products are amazing. There's just one problem. It's from a network marketing company. And I'm like, that's the only thing. Otherwise, it would be awesome, But, at the same time, my wife, Anna, she was sharing with a few people. She was getting paid for that. And those people were getting fantastic results on the products. And people started to ask them, hey, what are you doing? And then obviously they were sharing it and they were getting paid. And it was about 3 or 4 months of this. And, I'm a slow learner, okay? And you don't need to be quick-minded or quick-witted to do well on this. But after a few months, I started sort of, picking up on, this thing that people were getting a great product result and also getting a good financial result. And I was like, well, there's something to this, like you mentioned earlier, they don't teach you about money. Like I'd never heard of residual income at all. I only knew about that. I was always raised that the only way you can make money and get ahead in life is by getting good grades, going to school, getting a good job. And I didn't even finish year 10, so I sucked at that. So but even still, look, I was curious enough, and like you, I went along to an event, and it was just exactly what Bill said before. There was a guy there. He's much older than me, but he'd been around network marketing for a very long time. And basically, what it came down to was that this is Isagenix is an opportunity outside of a physical transformation for you to create time freedom. Yes, look, in the beginning, there is a time commitment, and it takes a bit of effort to get going. But residual income is the bomb. To give you an example, there's a lovely woman in our team. She's our first ever customer that we enrolled. No interest in building the business. But every month for the last 5 years, she's ordered her products. And for that, I've received a small commission. And to me, if you guys could, if you're watching this and you're sort of, trying to work it out, if you could picture that, we've got 17,000 people in our organization now. And that's kind of, once I understood what Isagenix was offering and the power of residual income, and that really the majority of the people you're going to enroll are going to be customers, and along the way, you're going to find some real rock stars that are going to help build your business with you as well. And that was what it came down to. It just really, once I understood the fundamentals were providing a solution through our products And if people love our products or they need a financial solution, we've got that to offer as well. We're just very, very fortunate, and I believe that we really hit the jackpot with Isagenix, because it's my first network marketing company and it will be my last, is that our compensation plan, once you understand it, there's nothing else like it. And over the last 5 years, I've actually gotten very, very good at breaking down numbers of other comp plans and looking at them, like Bill said, with step breakaway. You know, if Tully comes in and joins my organization in a step breakaway comp plan, there's an incentive for me to actively work against other people in my organization to get them out, so Tully flows up and I benefit. That doesn't happen in Isagenix. You know, it's just, I think if you have a moment to really just delve into it and get your head around it, it's really, really exciting. That's why I love it. That's why I still do this 5 years in.
Mm-hmm. And so, touching on that, on the power of the compensation plan, what have you and Anna been able to create with that? Because you've obviously both left full-time, high-paying, well-paying corporate gigs, and I'm assuming you at least replaced that. So what has the comp plan provided for you guys?
Yeah, and I've always got to look. I'll mention some numbers as well, but before I do, I just obviously want to, you know, the disclaimer is that the sort of numbers that we're going to talk about, there's work involved with that, guys. It wasn't just like we rocked up and we just like sat around, did nothing, you know, smoking and drinking all day, and then just all this success happened, right? There was planning, there was effort, and there was work. There was, you know, hardships, tears, good times, low times, bad times, all along the way. But Anna in the first sort of 4 or 5 months replaced her income. I was around the 6-month mark. We had a residual income of $100,000 a year. I jumped on about 8 or 9 months in. About 16-month mark, we had multiple 6 figures. It was at that point that I stepped away from my corporate job, and we've been doing it ever since. Our biggest month in Isagenix is $44,000 for the month. Our biggest week, just in December. The first week of December, it was the first week of December when we rank advanced to 6-star, including all our enrollments and all our bonuses and the residual and everything like that, was $17,000 for the week.
Not a bad week's work.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
Can't live on it, but it's not bad.
Well, not bad. Came in pretty handy for Christmas. So
yeah. And I think that's amazing. And like you say, they're extremely impressive numbers. And like anything with any business, it requires work. But I think the powerful thing is while you've been building and earning that money, a big chunk of what you've been earning is residual, like Bill touched on and like you touched on, that will continue to get paid, that's willable to your family, your future children, and all of that sort of thing. So not only are you earning money while you're doing it, you're also building an asset that will continue to pay you after the work does die down. Yeah, awesome, powerful. And I guess take us behind the scenes a little bit. Like how has that transformed your relationship, your and Anna's relationship? So obviously you're married now, you weren't married when you started, but how have things changed behind the scenes? Because like a lot of us can put on this happy front, we're all happy, and then behind the scenes we're fighting like cats and dogs about this and that. And financial stress is a huge part of that for people. So talk to me about how this income, and even at the beginning, that extra bit of income really did shift things for you guys.
Well, look, it's great. I mean, look, when we first came into this, we were engaged. And obviously along with that comes a wedding. Now, my wife, all the years before we got engaged, she was like, oh, no, we're not going to go, you know, I'm not going to have this big wedding or this expensive. The moment she got engaged, it was like, she was just going crazy, right? So we had to pay for that somehow. But throughout this journey, I suppose one of the biggest financial stresses that we've ever we would have encountered would have been paying for the wedding. We did that debt-free and we paid for it in cash. And we had an awesome wedding in Bali. So it's impacted our relationship financially wise, is that very few of our arguments revolve around money. It's more about what we do with the money we earn, where we put that to reinvest it into things like Bill mentioned with passive and things like that as well. There's arguments there around money, but it's not like because there's a lack of it. So, you know, and our relationship, you know, look, we live together, we work together. You know, look, we're in a position where time freedom is so good that, you know, we can just say, look, you know what, let's go down south and just work from a house, hire a home down there. Let's take off to Bali and work from there. We traveled through Europe last year. We traveled through the States, all while still being able to do this business. As long as we're connected to Wi-Fi, We're in contact with our team. We're able to talk to our customers. We're able to, bring new people in, help them get set up, just like we're doing now with Zoom. That's why mine says Anna Richards, Morgan Richards, because this is our business. But that's what the impact is. It's strengthened our relationship because it's allowed us to spend more time together, and it's allowed us to come closer together. We've had to overcome all kinds of things that really have just made us stronger in the long term. The money's great, don't get me wrong, but it's not the be all and end all. It's what that's actually created for us as far as our lifestyle goes and what we're able to.
And time.
Time is everything. Time is the new currency.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, man. And just one last question before we wrap up and sound test Batser again. Is like, obviously you probably would have been met with a lot of skepticism like you had at the beginning over the time. Like, what do you think is the biggest thing that stops men especially from either taking a look at this, or when they take a look at network marketing, they might even use the product, but they're like, no, the business isn't for me. Like, oh, what's going on there? What do you think the biggest thing that holds them back?
Look, it's a predetermined mindset around what network marketing is. I'll be like, it's all boys in here. So, and I say this publicly all the time. When Anna first joined, I thought network marketing was a hobby that pregnant women did when they didn't want to go back to work and get a real job. I thought it's true. I thought, I'd bring home, in my corporate job, I was bringing home $1,400 a week or something like that, right? And I figured, I made 50. We'll just, add it to the rest. Like it was never going to be anything. And I think a lot of men have that predetermined mindset around what network marketing is. Don't get me wrong, I'm not the ambassador for all men, but I can only speak for myself. Men, we like to think we know, but really we don't know shit. We don't know anything. We don't do instruction booklets. We don't go out and get properly educated on something. We'll rather, get advice from, Steve down the pub who tried network marketing 15 years ago or something like that, right? But it's like David Wood says, don't take advice from broke and unhappy people. And the truth of the matter is, when I think back throughout my life and a lot of the situations and the choices that I'd made, the advice that I was getting were from people who were not going in the direction that I wanted to go, and they all were not there or had no interest in going that way. And so the moment I decided to actually, take a look at it from another angle and say, well, what do successful people actually say about it? Your Robert Kiyosaki's, what's his name?
Richard Branson.
All these other people. It was at our celebration.
Tony Robbins.
Oh man, I've drawn a mind break. But what are these people about network marketing, right? Successful people, not even in our industry. And if you generally people, they'll say, look, it's a vehicle for the everyday person to have a crack at creating financial freedom. And once I understood that, I thought, well, why wouldn't I just jump in and just give it my best and see what happens? And it worked out pretty well for us.
Beautiful. Love it. Thanks, mate. Appreciate your time. All right, Bats. Let's go round 2.
Can you hear me?
We got ya.
Yeah, we're on.
Loud and clear. Well played. Technology conquered. Awesome. So I guess like the other guys, just to kick things off, share a little bit about your background before you came across ISA, how you came across it, because I know you're working sort of FIFO oil and gas, if I'm not mistaken. I know you're also pro SUP boarder, so obviously health and fitness was a priority for you already. So yeah, I guess share a little bit about where you're at beforehand and how you came across network marketing.
Yeah, no worries at all. Thanks for having me on, Tally. And thanks for everyone jumping on the call. That was awesome, Morgs and Bill. Really good info. So my story started about 3 years ago. I was working offshore in the oil and gas industry. I was on about 300 grand a year. I was doing 3 weeks on, 3 weeks off. So, had about half the year off, and I thought, sweet, I'm killing it at life, but I was really unhappy. I didn't like the environment I worked in. It was like I was living 2 separate lives. But that was the only way that I knew at the time to create a great income and have some time freedom. That was all I knew. And it wasn't until I found out about network marketing and Isagenix was actually through the nurse when I was working offshore. She introduced me to it. To be honest, I was really skeptical. I was skeptical about the product. I come from a health and fitness background, so you know I was right into my training. I was already using sort of protein powders, vitamins, and it, you know, I guess the best thing is in life is to have an open mind. You know, have an open mind to what's out there and what can be possible, because if you don't have that, well, you know, you're going to stay on the same track. And I was open enough to finding out more about Isagenix. And, you know, I did a bit of homework and asked a lot of questions. And, you know, the ingredients checked out and, yeah, I gave it a go. And to be honest, I was looking for ways for it not to work. And it wasn't really until about 6 weeks into using Isagenix that I went, okay, my body shape is changing. Something is changing. I feel different. And I was like, all right, I'm in. This works, whatever this is. And when I was out there working offshore, Rachel, she was earning a really good income with Isagenix at the time. I think she was on about $6,000 a week. Plus she was working offshore, and I was like, far out, this chick is killing it, you know? And I guess the thing that really made me take a look at it was I was really unhappy, like going to work offshore. But I'm all about freedom. I love freedom. I love, you know, I'm all about having fun, going on adventures. I'm right into my surfing and paddleboarding. I love to travel. And I was like, how can I find something that can allow me to live that lifestyle and generate an incredible income? And up until that point, offshore was the best thing I'd found until network marketing. So yeah, it was sort of a no-brainer for me to really look into it. It was, you know, I get to choose who I work with, who I bring into the business. That's a massive one, you know, so like attracts like. I'm out there looking for positive people that want to change their lives. Sure, you do some health coaching as well with people that want health transformations, and that's sort of where a lot of people start, you know, and then they come on board. Something may happen in their life where they need to have a look at the opportunity side of things, and it's just incredible. It really is such an incredible vehicle. And Isagenix isn't the be-all, end-all. It's not going to be the rest of your life. Sure, you might use the products and take part in the compensation plan, but Isagenix is a vehicle to allow you to have that residual income. Once you do the time, like Morg said, you got to put the hard yards in. But once you do that, create that residual income, you can go and, you know, start an eco resort or whatever your passion is in life. You can go and follow that, and that's amazing. You know, unlimited income. It was just like, it was so appealing. That's why I looked into it.
Yeah, epic. And I love that point, because if you sit with anyone, sit with any guy, and the thing is, the days of just chasing a paycheck and that's it are sort of coming to an end. It's like people are opening up to the fact that, like you say, like you found it a little bit with the offshore work, but you hated your environment half the time. Whereas with this, you get to choose and build your own environment, and there's already an epic environment waiting for you when you start.
Yeah,
and
well, sorry.
No, you go and finish up. Yep.
You know, you get to live life on your terms, you know, like you can, if you want to, like Morg said, you know, you can, like we can travel whenever we want, really. I mean, I've replaced my income. Like I earn a wage from Isagenix. I've been involved 3 years. I built like a little bit when I first started. I went in a derby. We won that. And then I did nothing for about 18 months. I did nothing with Isagenix, but I still got paid a residual income from the work that I did in those first few months of Isagenix. And it was a savior for me at that point in my life. It really just carried me through a point in my life where I wasn't working, I didn't have an income, yet I was still getting paid every single week from Isagenix, and I wasn't doing anything. I was like, this is crazy. And it wasn't a lot of money at the time. But probably about 6 months ago, I've, you know, really got into action. You know, I'm helping a lot more people and starting to grow my team. And, you know, I've got a good wage now. I think I had my biggest week just before Chrissy. It was about $3,000 for the week.
Nice.
But, you know, I'm on around sort of $1,000 to $2,000 a week at the moment, and that's steadily building again. so yeah, I mean, it's just sky's the limit, really. At the end of the day, it's if you're a positive person, you're motivated, you're willing to get out there and connect with people. Like, this is such an incredible business. Like, I love talking to people. Like, I'll be walking down the street and I just say good day to people. Like, that's just the sort of person I am. And when I saw Isagenix, I was like, all right, well, it's health based, you know, and the products are amazing because I've looked at them. I get to help people, and I've always wanted to do that. It gives me the freedom, the time freedom, so I can, you know, wake up, go surf till 10 a.m., come home, do a couple of hours work, might be hanging out with the kids or, you know, with Kylie, and you know, and just having that flexibility is amazing. And I suppose the other thing is choice. You know, when you really generate a great residual income, it gives you choice, you know, and that's such a powerful thing. You know, not too many people get to choose how they want to live their life or create their day, you know, and we get to do that. It's pretty surreal, you know. I'd sort of pinch myself sometimes. I almost feel a bit guilty. It's like, how big is that, you know? So for me, it really ticks all the boxes, and I'm so grateful for Jim and Kathy Coover, you know, for what they've created. They are you know, it's just people of such high integrity, and I just really feel like this company is in the best hands. You know, they've been around 16 years, like Bill said, but I'm here for the long haul, and you know, you can build fast, or you can just do it in the pockets of your time, replace your income. But it really, I guess for me, it's like, okay, the products work, the compensation plan works. I've seen that, like, you know, I live with the number one income earner in Australia, and to see that, to see, you know, what Kylie earns, and it's mind blowing. It really is. And the only variable in the equation is you. That's it. It's the only variable. So if you're willing to put yourself out there, do the work, sky's the limit, and it's just so exciting to be a part of.
I love it. Thanks, man. And I love that you brought up Jim and Kathy before, because it's important to acknowledge that, because they're the people that bear the entrepreneurial risk. They're the entrepreneurs in this situation. Network marketing isn't entrepreneurship. You don't need to build a business. You don't need to come up with products. People can often go to work to complicate it. And like Bill touched on, sometimes if people try to start their own business to develop the freedom, you can shoot yourself in the foot and go backwards. Whereas the beautiful thing about network marketing, like you've touched on, is the overheads to get into it are extremely low, and you eat your overheads. And then the only variable is the amount of effort that you want to put into it. And then you combine that with the fact that, like you touched on, your job becomes helping other people. And if you've got a heart of service and you want to feel like you're contributing to the world, to one person at a time, multiple people at a time, then that in itself will transform your life. And then you throw the income into it as well. And it's like you say, it's a bit of a home run.
Yeah, it's amazing. And it's really, I think, about, you know, finding other people that want this opportunity as bad as you do, you know, because when you find those people, you can link arms with them, you can start to run with them and really create that excitement. And yeah, I guess I you know, from what I've sort of seen, a lot of people want it for others. They're like, they realize how good it is, and they want it for their team. And it's like they're really trying to drag people along, like, come on, this is so good. And like, you're constantly motivating, you know, and we see people get burned out. But it's really just, you know, getting people to events, seeing who's inspired, and really working with the people that want it. So who's taking action, who's stepping up, you know, and when you find that's so exciting. It's awesome.
Love it. Love the froth that you bring. I love it, man. Awesome. Well, we'll wrap it up there, guys, because I think the Zoom's about to count us down and kick us off. So I just want to finish up with a massive thank you to all the lads that have jumped on to share their time and their experience and their expertise and their insight. So yeah, thanks very much, lads. It's really important to keep creating these just really down to earth spaces, just to keep educating people about, because like you say, it's not for everyone, but for those people that are positive and driven and really want to make a go of it, that it's a good option to take a look at. So if you're new and you've jumped on, chat to the person who sent you the link, who got you on, and my next step of advice is get yourself to an event. Because even from this Zoom call, you're not going to get a real feel for what it's all about until you get to an event, you see the company, you get to surround yourself, meet some people. And that's where you'll really find out if this is something that fits with you. And like we say, it may or may not. You're only going to find out if you, if you keep putting yourself in those environments where you can learn. So we'll wrap it up there. And thanks very much for your time, guys.
Thanks so much for having us, Tully. It was awesome.
No worries, man.
Thanks, Tal.
No worries.
Catch you, brother.